Well, their name is the Legendary Shots. They have taken over YouTube, and they're also discovered by an ad agency in Chicago. In November of 2008, they've been in 4 national Hampton Inn commercials. They've had hundreds of basketball shots on various videos on YouTube. They've appeared on many talk shows. They are currently claiming the title, the world's farthest shot, from the top of a statue in Birmingham, the Vulcan. We talked about that one.
That's not dedicated to Star Trek fans.
No,
that's the Roman god of Forge.
Yeah, right. It is not. They've been featured on SportsIllustrated.com. They've been the second sports clip of the day. We talked about that. And today, joining us, we have the founder, producer, editor, the camera, one of the shooters. Brian Anderson's here. He's camera, editor, and a shooter. Jeffrey Hickenbotham is a shooter. John Macy is a shooter. Andrew Bishop is a shooter. Jill Stallnaker, is that right? Am I saying that right? Jill is mom and manager.
Now, Mom, what is this group here? I mean, we thought this was kids on TV throwing basketballs. I mean, this is a cottage industry you got going here.
Well, it has become that. They started about 5 years ago, and they started in my driveway. And then when I got sick of the windows being hit and the garage being hit, I sent them to the next door neighbor's driveway.
Right, which is what you do in the neighborhood.
That's what you do. And then they started finding other basketball hoops around the neighborhood, and then, thank God, they learned how to drive. And then they found places outside the neighborhood. We started getting in different gyms and church parking lots that had basketball goals. Then they started throwing them out the moonroofs of the car. And then we started getting into bigger venues like Samford and UAB. And then we got a trailer and are able to move the basketball goal, and we've gotten bigger of the Vulcan, and we got into an amusement park, Alabama Adventure, yesterday, and the park was closed, and they opened it up for the boys, and they made some incredible shots.
Now, how many of these are yours?
There's just one, Carson Stallnaker. He's the one that's the founder, producer.
Right.
Okay, he's the founder.
So we have various shooters.
So, does this kind of make you the Joe Jackson of basketball shooters?
It does, by the way. All right, so can we see the one? This was shot from a Ferris wheel. Is this yesterday?
Yes, this is yesterday.
Yesterday, you streamers, you'll see it. We'll watch it, and Greg, of course, is being quiet.
I'm watching.
This is Alabama Adventures. Top of the Ferris
Strapped
wheel.
in on top of a Ferris wheel.
Top of the Ferris wheel, and there it is.
That's
Andrew Bishop that shot that.
Now, is Andrew here?
Yes.
Right there.
Andrew, that's a pretty long shot right there.
And Andrew, tell him what throw you made that on.
That was my 12th throw.
Sure. Oh, you hit it on the 12th one? Which that's the quickest y'all have ever made one, right?
That's got to be one of the quickest.
Yeah, because I mean.
So now, Andrew, I guess you have a technique to this. You take a shot. I guess you get an aiming point. You take a shot, and then you adjust every time, right? I mean, it's kind of like artillery at this point, right?
Pretty much. My first shot, I was up so high, and I just kind of flicked it off to see how far it would go, and it didn't really go very far. So I kind of adjusted from there, and like the accuracy, like left and right's not that bad, but just the depth is what you got to work on, and I got pretty lucky pretty quick, I guess.
And I've got to just a second brag on Andrew. He's from Pelham High School and is going to JSU to be a Gamecock.
You know that the real Greg Burgess believes that these are fake shots.
So which one of y'all's the editor? That's the MVP right there. Where's he at? That guy's awesome.
So, I mean, y'all do have to have a lot of equipment to document this, though, right?
Not at all, actually. Until like 3 days ago, all we had was Windows Movie Maker, and then Carson got a Mac, so now we have iMovie, which is like
so
the
you
Mac version of Windows Movie.
So you'll
Maker.
have some actually good video now.
Yeah, Bubba's a big Mac person.
Yeah.
So we moved,
you notice we're kind of Mac heavy.
We're very Mac heavy. So now you know when you're adding to Greg's conspiracy, it doesn't help that the guy who shot the Vulcan shot is strangely not here today. Greg will take that and run.
You know, like I said this morning when I saw him on ESPN, he looked like Milli Vanilli when they got the Grammy, and they were like, "Ooh, this thing's really blown up, and I'm gonna get caught in one." He had that look about him a little bit, and when he called in the other day, he wasn't very convincing at all. He's very confusing.
Was that him?
Is that why he's not here?
Was it him that was on ESPN they interviewed?
Yeah, and let me tell you what happened. He didn't know he was going to be live until about 5 seconds before he went on, and they were like, "All right, you're live on ESPN," and he's like, "Wait, what?"
Oh yeah.
So that. Well, then he referred that day we talked to him on the radio. He acted like it was some that they would do them, and somebody he was real confused, like he was working for
Well, that's
somebody.
part of
else.
Greg,
Greg's conspiracy.
Yeah,
theory.
Greg, maybe he's a great shooter and not the,
Look,
not
I'm
the PR
not.
guy.
I don't blame them, and it's absolutely look at all they're getting. But I mean, hey, good one. I mean, it's a good
Greg,
one. On y'all's
yeah, Greg.
when I was y'all's
But
age,
you-
I'd have done it too.
Now, what do you
get a-
I'd do it now.
But you-
if I could
yeah.
edit, I'd be throwing stuff off the Empire State Building.
But you probably get
I
that
don't
a lot,
blame 'em
though,
at
right?
all.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that think this is all doctored video, right?
Yeah, you get people on YouTube who always will just say anything cool is fake.
Yeah.
Don't want to believe anything they
Well,
see.
now wait a minute.
Oh,
in
that's
our
Greg
defense,
Burgess.
there's a lot of stuff on there that is
No,
fake.
wait a minute.
Right?
Did y'all just
Have
hear
y'all
that
seen that
statement?
long
Did y'all
frisbee
just hear that
toss?
statement in our defense? Meaning Greg is part of this movement.
Well, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
like
I'm
he's
saying.
going to an
So you're gonna
anonymous.
tell
Hey,
me
I'm Greg Burgess. I don't
that
believe
the-
anything.
Hey, the
Hi,
majority,
Greg.
all that beer pong. Come on now, some of them shots they're making. Get out of here.
What Greg is saying is, don't be mad at those who question. Be mad at those who have faked it.
Yeah.
Because
That
they,
frisbee throw is ridiculous. The guy on the slip and slide that lands in a kiddie pool. Come on. Yeah.
Well, Greg, we know that.
That's
Yeah, that's
not
not a
us.
now,
Same thing.
But Greg, this
Same thing.
this is not the group that did the kitty slide.
And look, when you've seen the fantasy football commercials, pick me. You remember how real that looked? Obviously, one of y'all knows how to do all that because that's obviously editing. I mean, Jason Campbell didn't hit two footballs.
I think we'd be working for ESPN if we could do that.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Well, I mean,
y'all are the face. There's
iMovie-
somebody behind y'all pulling the strings.
See, Greg,
I'm gonna make it look like a bunch of crazy kids out making shots. I see it.
Greg,
I see it. There's
you
a
heard him
machine
say-
behind this.
you heard him say that he didn't even have a Mac till the other day. They couldn't have done anything that
Greg,
cool on
you're
Windows.
just hating, Greg.
No,
it sounds so bad.
That's great, and I get it. But there's a machine.
Oh, you don't
behind
fault
them.
them.
No, there's a machine behind them. This is
Greg
the
Burgess.
face. Let's get these
call
young
it the ball
guys.
return.
This one kid, he's a John Brown shortstop for JSU. He's got an arm. Hey, they'll think he can hit it off Ferris wheel. I think it's a great idea, but y'all are wrong. I mean, it ain't real.
There's a lot of controversy around this, of course, but the Texas A&M bunch says they got the longest.
Yeah, we
got
gotta talk about that.
and they've got
Helms
the
backs
furthest shot. So we got to debate that here and figure this thing out.
The real Greg Burgess is face to face with the group, the legendary shots. Greg, of course, doubts these outstanding shots.
I didn't say all of them. It's the Vulcan one I got a problem with.
Is that the one? Only that one? So you don't?
I don't know yet. I haven't seen none.
All right. So we're going to talk about it in a minute. They're willing to take you on location and watch them make a shot.
Okay.
Would that help?
From the Vulcan again?
Will you put him as the
could do that,
cameraman
but,
under the goal and make him hold the
Right,
camera
right.
and aim at him?
I want to see him hit it off that Vulcan.
All right, yeah, we told you they were in an advertising campaign with Hampton Inn. We're going to see one of those, and William Snoddy, who's here, made this shot. Is that correct? Yep. All right, let's have a look at this. Here we go. The legendary shooters.
And
All right, right there, William is pausing for effect.
right. Look how still he can stand.
Scroll it all the way back.
Yeah, scroll it all the way to the
Scroll it all the way to the beginning. Here he comes. Off the house, off the carport, the driveway, in the hole.
We're not sure which one is longer like that, but farthest we're saying like from the shooter's hand right through the hoop, like direct.
You're saying
Yeah, from
flight
shooter to
time.
goal.
Flight time.
Yeah.
We're
Not
we're
hang
just
time,
trying
though.
to
Hang
get someone
time,
to
but
settle the
it's-
controversy.
From shooter to
Are you
goal.
trying to get somebody to settle it?
We're hoping that they would actually get someone out there with some math skills to measure which.
Couldn't you do
really
that with a
is.
stopwatch?
Which
We've
one?
timed hang
Which
time.
one was the
Well,
furthest?
By, like,
he
point-
threw it. He threw it up. He kind of threw it up though when he threw it.
We
so
just
that's
threw it
why they have
straight.
the hang time.
way.
Yeah.
But
Tell
I
'em
get-
about the
if you go
measurements.
by definition of hand to goal, that would still get it. But they're both pretty impressive
They are.
shots.
Now, one thing I want to clear up: these guys were the first trick shot guys out there. Dude Perfect came after them, and a lot of people think they are copying Dude Perfect
Understood.
and they are Dude Perfect wannabes. We
Understood,
actually were
Mama.
out there first.
Understood, Mama.
All
And
right,
on the
just
Dude
wanna clear
Perfect
that
shot,
up.
they banked it in, and ours was a net.
Oh yeah,
so.
we didn't need to.
Who did that?
We didn't need the bank.
That's right. So yeah, it was nothing but net.
We didn't even
so-
need the backboard.
So let
Just-
me ask you this:
Look at these balloons.
back when Evil Knievel was doing all his motorcycle jumping, he just got bigger and bigger, and you had to have more more than that's hilarious. By the way, the floating at Evil balloons. You always got to do something bigger and more impressive.
Most expensive shot ever.
What is that? What is the next step? What do you try to do now to outdo the Vulcan shot?
It was Alabama Adventure, but after that, now we don't know what to do anymore.
We'll find some.
Rick and Bubba Studios right here.
What about this? Let's come back and come up with a plan that they can shoot and bank something off Greg's head.
Sounds good.
And take
And if
plenty
they
of
miss
shots.
it, they can edit it in. It ain't a big deal.
Greg, he's going to go with y'all on the next shot. We got to plan what it is. Greg must be there and see it go through.
Okay.
Huh?
That'd be great.
We want to convert him.
All right, we'll be back. Stay close.
I could be converted.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.